Welcome to the March episode of Cloverfield News, the monthly news broadcast of the journalism class of Westfield Middle School. I am Kayla Smits.
And I'm Julie Lamb.
Welcome, Julia. You are new to our show this month.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
We have so much to share this time, so let's jump right in.
So to help incoming 7th graders decide what to take for their 2 periods elective each quarter, we have produced a series of videos explaining the options.
We did not explain the 8th grade electives. Most teachers, however, do mention how the classes offered in 7th grade lead to the classes in 8th grade. We just don't explain the details of the 8th grade electives because that would have been way too long.
Yeah, and the 7th graders will have time to talk to their teachers next year.
Right, so let's get started. First, world language and media.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Rivera, and I teach 7th and 8th grade survey for Spanish. I really enjoy mixing things up in class. So for example, today we probably did switch gears 6 different times, everything from listening to some songs or videos that represent what we're doing in Spanish class that week, speaking with a partner, so practicing talking to each other, talking to me as the teacher, mixing it up and doing, I don't know, just a lot of different review games, trying to get up out of our seats so we're not always just sitting down doing Spanish that way, but practicing with groups of people. Well, Spanish is really, actually any world language is very important. If you want to go to any 4-year college or university in the state of Indiana, there's a 2-year requirement for world language at the high school level.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Madame Cruz, and I teach French and French survey. You should sign up for French survey so that you can learn another language. We do a lot of listening, speaking, and learning about different culture.
I really like learning new things and doing the different activities we do. We play like a Simon Says game in French, and that's one of my favorite parts about French class.
In French survey, we play a lot of games so you can learn the vocabulary. We do a lot of Quizlets and Kahoots and some jouer au foot, sort of active games. We also, like I said, do a lot of listening activities. You listen to me, you listen and talk with a partner. That's right, you'll be speaking French.
Media literacy is the study of how media affects journalism. Now that we have different platforms of media, such as TV, Instagram, and others, it may have an effect on journalism.
The news and how the news affects us, current issues with the news, fake news, bias, and we do everything through creating an ongoing blog, and every week we post something new to the blog.
My things I did in my blog was, what's the big deal about media? And my next one is my media log experiment, where we just show things that we did all throughout the week, what we're doing like on the phone, music, printing, movies, anything like that.
One of my favorite things to do is record little clips or a full video to edit together and make it almost a professional looking video. To almost every good thing that
we've learned that week, we create a meme, we create an advertisement and put those in there. And so this ongoing blog is how we track what we're learning. My broadcast journalism class is the class that does announcements. It is open to both 7th and 8th graders, and every day we produce a 3 to 7 minute broadcast that is seen by the entire school and is published on the web.
We have DEDRICK, who pretty much flips the cameras from the table to the board. We have the sound that makes sure we sound good. We have teleprompt that makes sure we know how to read off the board. We have editor who makes the videos happen. And we have anchors who talk.
This class is something that you have to audition for or do an application for. There will be an application link that will be sent to you that you can click on that has a form. and you can either record a video of yourself reading kind of your favorite children's book, so I can see how you read out loud, and I will ask for some recommendation from one of your teachers.
So last year I was in broadcast journalism when I was in 7th grade, and it was really fun because you get to see what happens, like what's going on in the school, just like by getting what the teachers send in, like when you know when clubs are, and if your friends ask like, hey, do you know what day blah 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 club is, you're like, oh, it's Thursday.
It's every day. Good luck to the second trimester crew.
And that's all for today, and as always, it's a great day to be a Shamrock.
And we're just getting started. Next, we will focus on technology applications and Project Lead the Way.
I'm Mr. Brooks, and I teach technology applications.
So Tech Apps was mainly just based around, we did typing and programming on Khan Academy.
Students should sign up for Tech Apps because computing has become a significant part of our world today, and it's important more now than ever that students become effective and appropriate users of that technology. In a typical day in Tech Apps, students will do some typing to improve their typing skills. We will discuss a topic. They will learn a tool from an application of some sort, and we'll practice that tool, putting it into use with Project. Well, Tech Apps will help prepare students to be successful in all classes through growing in their own computing skills. Some of the projects that we do in Tech Apps will actually help students discover other avenues of technology that may interest them, including coding.
The project was to animate something and make it move. So I tried to make like a super complex animation that had more than 1,000 programs.
I'd want incoming 6th graders to know that Tech Apps is for everyone, whether you have a lot of experience with computers or very little. No matter where you're at, we want to see all students grow and become better users.
My name is Mr. Abriani, and I teach Design and Modeling, Automation Robotics 1, and Automation Robotics 2. Design Modeling is our intro course for 7th graders. We do a lot of the design process, learning how things are innovated and created. We also learn, and we do a lot of different projects within that course. We also learn Inventor, Autodesk Inventor, which is a 3D modeling program for that class. That's pretty fun. In that class, we do activities such as our cardboard furniture project, so you will design and build cardboard furniture. We will design and build sailboats, and we'll learn to run those. And then again, we'll do a lot of our computer-based program and learning how to build and design on the computer. The second course that I teach, Automation Robotics 1, which is also a 7th grade course. We do a lot of introductory automation in robotics. So we learn all the mechanisms and how they work with different things that we see in the real world. Then we get into our program, which we have on our computer, which is called Robot C, and we learn to program our robots or things that we've built. We do a lot of problem solving throughout all of our courses, but especially in Automation 1, because there's real world problems that you have to solve by building a basic robot for it. And then Automation Robotics 2 is a lot more of a programming course. We still build a lot, but we get to build this awesome clawbot.
Last year in Design and Modeling, we got to make like whatever we wanted. like for furniture, and that was really cool on Inventor.
And then as an 8th grader, you're looking to take those classes so that at WHS you're able to take other Project Lead the Way courses such as Introductory to Engineering or Principles of Engineering, and then into the construction world over there as well.
Let the technology begin.
And the hardest part is that there are so many choices in so little time.
And yet, some people need a break, or need to have time developing study habits, or enjoy being helpful.
We can help with that as well.
I'm Mrs. Plummer. I'm the front desk receptionist. This is my assistant Colin, and they run passes to and from classrooms.
So far I've made deliveries such as like leaving passes to leave the school, or like counselor passes, and I've gotten to do like homework.
I deliver passes and people who've forgotten their lunch or maybe a computer that they've left at home. We deliver them down to their classrooms, and I really enjoy it because it's like a nice break in the day, and I also get to do my homework.
So I'm Mrs. Hoffman, the media specialist here at Westfield Middle School, and on any given day need some help with things like shelving books, checking books in and out for students that come in with their classes, also to help with our tech desk and managing our Chromebooks, if there are any tech issues you have, or if you've forgotten yours at home or maybe it's not charged. That's what our tech assistants help us with here at the circulation desk.
My name is Mr. DEDRICK. I have the Study Skills classroom. The objective of the study skills is to help students learn how to study. Each day there's plenty of time for them to still work on homework and stuff for their other classes, projects, things like that. Several times throughout the trimester we'll do team time management type activities, competitions amongst the students, which they all enjoy, have fun with that. But above all else, I just want them to enjoy coming here, and hopefully they have fun in the classroom and then get things done.
Peer facilitation is a class that students can take at Westfield Middle School. The class gives students an opportunity to work with kids who have disabilities. In the class, you help them with classwork, play games, and even make a lifelong friend.
It's more like friends for them. So they don't feel like, oh great, I have an adult following me around everywhere, so everybody's going to know I'm different. Because even though some of our kids function at a lower academic level, socially a lot of them are very aware of that, and they don't like attention drawn that they are different.
We are so grateful for the peers because you know, there are only 3 of us, there are 8 of them, and so it wouldn't be possible to give everybody one-on-one attention if we didn't have the peers come in.
Okay, we've heard about 12 different classes so far, and we haven't even talked about the 2 most well-known categories.
You mean art and music?
Yes, art and music.
For 9-week class offerings, you can take either 2D or 3D.
Well, in art class, you get to work with your hands and do a couple different things and be creative and express yourself more than you can in other classes.
"2D art includes things like drawing, painting, printmaking, computer art, anything that's going to be flat and not a sculpture.
but I also liked the clay project because I had to get a lot of creativity in it.
3D art would be everything else. So sculpture, including like clay, wire, potentially paper mache, but that's what 3D is, and it's just 9 weeks.
And then you can go to art and just paint or play with clay, and it's not stressful, and it's relaxing, I guess.
And it was really fun.
It is a combination of photography, graphic design. You'll learn Photoshop, Illustrator. Media arts staff is responsible for the social media in our building. They also help teachers with any locker signs, posters, school-wide campaigns they need designed. That's what media arts gets to do. Media arts is a semester class. So on the school website, there'll be a place where you can go and apply for media arts. You just have to be in good standing, have positive teacher recommendations, and have overall good grades in your classes because it requires a little bit of extra work.
You learn independence. You have to be on your own schedule, and you have to learn how to communicate with the person you're working with.
It is a little more intense. We start on yearbook training in May of that year. I only take a few 7th graders, so this year there were only 4 7th graders on the staff of 24. So if you don't get it in your 7th grade year, you can always apply in your 8th grade year. We do have one of the best middle school yearbooks in the country, so we kind of look for people who are ready to push themselves and go for that.
I like yearbook because it's a place where you can take all the important moments from the year and put them together so people can remember what happened that year for them in the future. My favorite thing about yearbook is the challenges that it can give you because it's like really challenging at times, but in the end, it's really worth it.
Aim high to make the best book possible. It's very much student-led. Students take all the pictures, they do all the design. We go to yearbook camp. You can go to yearbook camp. We also will possibly go to a national convention next year, which will be in Chicago. You must have no D's or F's in classes. You have to have positive recommendations for that class as well. It's a 2-round application process. You have to complete an online initial round 1 application, and then you'll get a letter notifying you if you're invited to round 2, which is an in-person task-oriented interview.
Now on to our largest, most popular electives. The WMS Music Department taught 630 students this year, and 2/3 of those were for the entire year and not just a trimester. Let's look at the great things happening in music.
My name is Sarah Rivers, and I'm the band director at Westfield Middle School.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and.
They're going to learn to be more fluent on their instruments. They're going to learn all different rhythms and styles of music, just a variety of different pieces of music. Students need to be in 6th grade band in order to come up to the middle school 7th grade band. And if there are students that want to be in the middle school band program that were not in the intermediate band program, they need to take private lessons. Now, if a 6th grade student wants to switch instruments between 6th grade and 7th grade year, they need to also take private lessons and get that approved by Mr. Sluter, Mr. Ward, and myself.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Music exploration is a really good class to take because it exposes you to a lot of different types of music that you might not find on your own, and sometimes students find them very interesting. Some weeks we have drums out and we're going through and playing different drum ensembles, and we'll have drums, triangles, tambourines, all kinds of different things. And sometimes we'll be playing guitars, and we'll play different songs that use guitars. We do a couple projects that you wouldn't get in any other classes. One is where the students have to write a trio using percussion instruments. So everybody writes their own parts, and they all play their own parts together as a performance for the rest of the class. If students are interested in music but not in band or choir, this kind of gives them a way to still have music be a part of their school day and still be a part of their lives. And then down the line, if they end up really liking music, this would help set them up to be successful in band or choir if they decide to do those later.
I'm Julia. I play the bassoon and I'm in wind ensemble. So when I first got in, for 6th graders, Mrs. Rivers was gonna come and interview you guys. Or not interview, she listens to you play. And then the people who she thinks would be good in wind ensemble, she asked Mr. Sluter if they would be a good fit. And then he gives a yes or a no. My first year did not get in, but my second year, when I was in 7th grade, I tried out. There was an audition, I played Swan Lake. Towards the end of the year, she'll hand you a piece of paper and say play either this song or this song. And I played it on a recording, and I did get into an ensemble. So that was great. So it's either an audition or a recommendation.
Hi, my name is Emily Smith. I am the choral director here at the middle school. And all of the classes that I teach are year-round classes, meaning that you would take them for the entire school year. I will be teaching next year Women's Chorus 7, Women's Chorus 8, Men's Chorus, which is 7th and 8th grade mixed together, and then our auditioned group show choir. So if you come in as a student and you're taking either Women's Chorus 7, Women's Chorus 8, or the Men's Chorus, you're going to be learning just the basics of vocal technique. So you're starting with the foundation of how do I learn how to sing. We perform usually 3 or 4 concerts during the school year, and that is outside of school, but it's very little personal time outside of school. During the class day, not only do we prepare for our concerts, but we also learn a little bit of music theory and play some games, and sometimes we go on some field trips as well. So I'm really excited this year. The Men's Chorus is a new class that we're offering. Any male singer in 7th or 8th grade will be in one class together, which is some people might think it's a little weird that we're mixing 7th and 8th graders together, but it's really great, I think, for the boys, because this is kind of a time as a singer when your voice is changing a little bit. So it gives the boys an opportunity to learn about their voices in a setting away from the girls, where they can actually hear each other and hear how the voice progresses as they get older. So the 8th graders will be great models for the 7th graders. And I just think that it takes a little bit of the pressure away, learning how to sing. I think it's going to be super fun having them by themselves.
1, 2, 3. There will come soft rains and the smell of the ground,
and swallows circling with their shimmering sound.
Show choir, I actually call the advanced show choir. We don't dance to every single song that we sing. In fact, typically we only dance to 1 song at each concert. And usually students sing about 3 to 4 songs per concert.
I like show choir because it's a place where you can express yourself and share your love of singing.
I like show choir because it's such an amazing place to make new friends.
It is a mixed group, 7th and 8th grade. You do have to audition to be in this group. Audition information will be coming out before spring break for students.
And wild plum trees in tremulous white.
Typically Typically, I will have more 8th graders in this class than 7th graders, but I always have 7th graders in the ensemble. I like having 7th graders move up to 8th grade, so it's a great mixture.
I'd have to say, like, take the risk. If you really feel like that's something you're interested in, take the risk. Life is all about going out there and putting yourself out there because you only live once, and I feel like show choir is the place where you can really express yourself and you won't be judged for it. So if you really want a true family, I think this is where you can find it.
I love what Isaac said there at the end. If there's something you want to do, do it.
Right, now is the time to explore and try new things. He's talking about auditioning for show choir, but the same can be applied to yearbook, announcements, French, or even peer facilitation.
Absolutely. If you ever wondered if you would be good at something, now's the time to try it. We have at least 20 different options.
The hard part should be having to decide what not to try.
Be bold and go for it.
That's all for this long edition of the Cloverfield News broadcast. I'm Kayla Smits.
And I'm Julia Lamb.
And as always, this broadcast, as well as the individual videos, are available on the WMS Social YouTube channel. See you next month with new stories.
And 6th graders, good luck with your choices next year.